At the beginning of the story, we see a child named Leo who secretly... Leo is watching his father doing martial arts training. Father is not a common fighter, but he is the most dangerous fighter in the whole city, and all over the city. Every fighter in the name of Leo's father is afraid because Leo's father, that no fighter will ever tick in front of him, and to this day, no fighter could defeat Leo's father, that is why. Everyone in the city honors the father of Leo, and Leo also saw his father's winning awards. Like, he wants to be, but his father always keeps him away from martial arts. Because of Leo. Leo martial arts strict training. If illness and asthma disease run. If he does, he can read sick, so Leo's father Leo martial arts. They said to stay away from him, but he did. He was a month-long fighter, so he secretly became his father. Copy training. Every day he did a little bit of practice, and one day a new fighter comes to his town who challenges Leo's father to a fight, and Leo's father accepts his challenge. Leo was quite happy to take this fight because he knew that this fight would be won by me, and when the fight starts, these two fighters are quite good to each other. They compete, but after a while, Leo's leaves when he realizes that the front fighter is not going to give up. Then Leo's leaves change his fighting technique, which makes the front fighter confused and weak in front of Leo's leaves' fighting skills. Seeing the people of the city start shouting loudly, and the people there seem to be Leo's address. Then they will be able to do it, and they will be able to do it with their father. He kills the fighter and makes him evil. And Leo's father gets pretty close to winning, but in the end, Leo's father walks his last tail as soon as he's going to kill this fighter. Then suddenly Leo's father stops because the life of the front fighter could have been lost, but the front fighter was a very crappy man. And he was blessed with the mercy of his father. Leo's father attacked and deceived Leo's father. Win this fighting match by throwing it out of the ring. Everybody knew this fighter. Then, when the father of his father died, his father died. They are quite sad, but they all knew that the father of Leo knew this match. And why did Leo's father do that? We'll find out later. Leo is completely broken by seeing his father's defeat today. And then the fighter who defeated Leo's father by cheating was his son comes to Leo and challenges Leo and says that the way my father has defeated your father, I will also defeat you in the same way. Listening to this, Leo becomes red with a bribe and takes a challenge to break the pride of that boy. But here Leo's friend Leo is fighting. That Leo was not fully prepared for the fight, but in anger, Leo could not control himself and came in front of this guy in the ring to fight. Then both of them. The middle fight starts, but Leo is not training well because the good guy. He did not fight, and the boy in front of him killed him. And finally, the boy. This match is won by throwing Leo out of the ring, but even after winning the match, the boy does not stop, and he puts his foot on Leo. Leo makes a lot of dishonor here. Leo makes himself very gullible and swears that after today I will train myself so much that I will never lose the fight, and the day I lose the fight will be the last day of my life. After which Leo goes to a library with his friend, and from there these people, they bring in which all the techniques of martial arts were written. Now because Leo's father could not train Leo because of the asthma disease in Leo, so seeing Leo himself from the book, he starts learning the techniques of martial arts. But when Leo came back to his house, his father marred him. And they forbade anyone to fight again, but Leo had to bring back the lost dignity of his family, so he did not listen to anyone. And he starts training in martial arts in secret from his father. Here Leo trains in martial arts so diligently that he doesn't even pay attention to his schoolwork. Then here Leo's friend writes down Leo's schoolwork, and Leo eats something and drinks and practices day and night, and after several days of hard work, Leo finds out. Now that I'm fully prepared, he goes straight and challenges the guy who beat him last time to a fight, and then the fight starts between them because Leo trained well this time, which caused him to stay longer in front of the other boy, Leo. He doesn't have the ability and the ease with which the boy is defeated. After the win, Leo is so happy that he runs in the streets. Everybody tells people about their wins, Then there is a scene cut, and we see the scene after a few years where Leo is now grown up and married, as well as his sweet C. But now his father is dead and his mother is dead. Live, and we know that he was not the first, but the first. He is the most dangerous fighter in his city who has not lost a fight to date. And Leo is quite famous throughout the city. Everyone has the right to do so, and no one has the right to do so. That he could challenge Leo to a fight because whenever a fighter came to fight Leo, Leo would kill him so badly that the fighter cannot stand on his feet again. And that is why Leo is famous enough in the whole city today, like his father. But the crowd of people running after him all the time and the respect of the people spoiled Leo. And Leo is now very arrogant because as his father, despite everything, he is not a man, but he is a man, and he is not a man. At the same time, he was always drunk and free drinking to his followers in receipt, and sometimes even Leo would drink so much that he forgot. On the way home, Leo had spent all his money in receipt works and Moji drunk, which caused Leo to borrow more from the owner of the hotel. And the owner of the hotel was Leo's childhood friend. He wrote a book, and now his friend is a big business. The man who has his own hotel is Leo's childhood friend. He looks at the cost, but Leo is his childhood friend. He didn't say anything about it except that he was a good friend. The wrong advantage. He doesn't just eat and drink, he does. He also feeds his followers everything for free and his friends, namely the hotel. The owner of the hotel does not pay any money, and the owner of the hotel sees all this. It didn't look good at all because Leo was taking the wrong advantage, and one day the manager comes and the manager tells the owner of the hotel that our hotel is going to lose because Leo and his followers every reasons to eat free daily. You can't see the hotel now. The childhood friend of Leo. He comes straight to Leo and explains to him with great affection that, look, Leo will not go like this anymore. You who feed your followers free food from my hotel. All this is wrong. You are my childhood friend. I will not celebrate you with some free food from my hotel, but you who feed your followers free food from my hotel. It's all wrong for you to follow. They follow you because you feed them for free, but on the day you cease to feed your followers for free, so your fake followers will leave you, so now you have to shut it all down, and you are not following the path of your father. Remember, this path can get you into trouble, but Leo does not pay much attention to what his friend says, and he ignores his friend and leaves the next day in the city. When Leo is going somewhere with his followers, then another fighter comes in front of them with his followers, and the fighter's name is King. King is a very good fighter, and King has not lost any fights like Leo to this day, because these two fighters are famous all over town for their skills, but it was always eating Leo, because Leo only Leo reigned in the whole city, but Leo had to fight the king, and Leo was not considered the most ardent fighter in the city until Leo defeated the king in a fight. King was not in the mood to fight, and now the king had stopped fighting. So King Leo, he said nothing, and Chip-Chap left there. But he was still angry, and he was angry with his students. Then the next day, some followers of Leo came to Leo. One of his students is brought on a stretcher which is badly injured. And Leo's injured student. He said to Leo, "The king has killed me, and the king has killed me for it, because yesterday you were rude to King on the way, so King could not take revenge on you, but he hit me." Leo gets very angry and goes to King to take revenge on his student on the other side. King with his family at the restaurant of Leo's childhood friend. Leo is having his birthday party, and when he finds out that King is in the hotel, he goes straight there and challenges King to fight in front of his family, but King forbids him to fight and says that today is my birthday. And I want to wish my family a happy birthday, so please get out of here, but I don't listen to Leo King and King in front of his family. Then Leo's childhood friend comes to Leo and explains to Leo that if you fight the king inside the hotel here, there will be a lot of damage to me because a lot of things in the hotel will break during the fight. So please get out of here quietly, but Leo was very angry and he started to say bad things to his friend. He also broke up his childhood friendship with his friend. that either accept the challenge of the fight or bow down to me in the midst of all the people here and now. After repeatedly insulting the king in front of the family, the king accepts the fight. After which the hotel is vacated and all the people are King and Leo. Leave inside the hotel and come out, after which between Leo and King. Fight starts, and both of them are very strong fight due to being good in their skills. Yes, they both hit each other equally, and there was a fight between them for a long time, but neither of them was willing to give up, so Leo became angry. The king was a good fighter, and he was stopping every single one of Leo's wars. One last strong blow to King's heart, and this blow is so much more dangerous than King's death there. Now when Leo comes out of the restaurant, Leo's followers begin to celebrate his victory. But there, when King's followers, seeing King Kai dead body KO, they become very miserable and burn in the fire of revenge with anger. Now after some time, when Leo approached his house, he of several people. We saw the signs that were going to his house, and when Leo reached the door and began to call to his mother, he did not hear anyone's voice inside. Now when Leo goes inside his house, he sees that all the lights of the house are off, and when Leo reached his mother's room, he saw his mother's dead body in front of him. Then he will be able to quickly and easily take care of his mother's body. Here we find out that King's followers changed their master. Leo's mother killed to take now when Leo cries over his mother's death. It is only when he comes to his daughter's Chayil, and he goes to his daughter's room running, where Leo sees that those people has also brutally killed his daughter here. Leo, his daughter, raises in the lap and starts crying because now Leo has no one in this world. Was not left, and Leo, the death of his mother and daughter is completely broken, as well as he changed. Then he went out in anger to kill the king's family, and came to the king's house and killed the king's son first, after which he became king's wife. And when he goes to kill his daughter, the king's wife says to Leo, "There is nothing wrong with me and my daughter, but if you want to appease your anger, kill me, but leave my daughter alone." There is nothing wrong with the king's daughter and his wife, after which Leo leaves the king's wife and his daughter alive. And now when he is coming back to his house, then his followers come to him, and those people bring the same boy in front of Leo, who was badly beaten by King a few days ago, and Leo in exchange for his followers. He fought with King and killed him, but here Leo finds the whole truth, and Leo's followers tell Leo that King killed this boy because the boy was rude to King's wife, so King became angry and hit him. Leo gets very sad to hear this because he went to kill King for whatever reason. And the king was actually innocent, and Leo became angry and killed the king's innocent son. The owner of the hotel now remembers what he said to Leo, "Your followers will get you into big trouble," and that proved to be true. Now Leo leaves his followers here because he realizes that he was supporting the wrong people, and now in Leo's life. No one close to him survived, and Leo's childhood friend broke up with Leo. Now Leo, completely broken from within, leaves the city and sits in a well in a river far from the city. That's where this boat will take him, and this boat brings Leo to a deserted part of the forest. Now Leo decides to spend life here. In this way the days pass, and then the month, and then the whole 6 months later. When we see Leo, we know that Leo is no longer the first Leo. Leo is completely. His bearded mustache and hair are quite large, and they are in the midst of it, He will kill himself and then jump into the water. Leave it to drown itself as it is now. Then the water will drown, and then the city will be destroyed. And then they came and saved them. And the people of the towns, a few days later, Leo was in a state of shock. That his condition was not recovering. So the people of the village leave Leo in the condition of death, because they understood that Leo cannot survive now. But here a girl from the village whose name is Moon, she does not lose courage. And Leo take good care. Actually, this girl named Moon is blind who can't see with her eyes, but Moon has a good heart. She always takes care of Leo and gives him food and drink because of the same care of Moon. One day Moon saw Leo's long hair and said to Leo, Come on, I'll cut your hair. Moon leaves the house, after which Moon takes Leo into the river and cuts his hair and his clothes and brings Leo back to his old looks now here. Because Leo cares so much, Moon gets attached to Leo, and these two start to like each other, as well as Leo decides that he now spends the rest of his life. He would spend time with these people, and the people of the village who did the work. Here Leo also began to help them in this work, but Leo never brought his truth to the people that he was a martial arts master before, but Leo also liked those people. One day a child of the village is caught stealing some goods from another village, which makes the chief of the village quite angry, and the chief decides to punish the child for stealing. It says, but the chief was not in the mood to forgive the child, and the chief says that it is the rule of our village that whoever steals gets his punishment. Then here Leo comes out and tells the chief that is the place to punish me and leave this child and go to his grandmother. Now here the chief Leo accepts the word, but the chief says on a condition that I will leave this child, but for this you have to fight me. Because the punishment of children is different, and the punishment of the elders is different, and
After
here
which the
Leo
fight of
Sardar,
both of them
starts. And the chief of the village does many blows on Leo, but Leo only saves himself. If he wanted to, he could defeat the chief in one punch, but Leo did not do so, and on the other hand, the chief struck several strong blows on Leo, so that Leo fell to the ground and fell to the ground. Then here the gang people say to Leo, you should not only save yourself, but you should also fight back at the chief,
Then
so that the
Leo
competition
also
will
uses
be
his
equal
fighting
and skills to take out all the chief's hack in a few wars, and the chief gives up, as well as the chief appreciates Leo a lot, seeing Leo's such good fighting skills, and here for the first time knows the people of Gam. Leo is not an ordinary person, but a very good fighter, after which everyone starts to respect Leo a lot, and one day Moon takes Leo with him to the grave of his parents, which makes Leo also remember his parents now, because Leo's mental state had improved. So Leo decides to go back to his city again, so that he can go to the grave of his daughter and his parents. When Leo tells Moon about going to the city, Moon does not stop Leo, but Moon says to Leo, fix your journey well. I will wait for you to return here. I will come back to you after Leo goes out to his city, but as soon as he enters his city, he will see. This city has changed a lot more than before, and there are people from other Daesh living here. Leo finds that there is no powerful man left in the village after his departure, which people fear because Leo also killed the king, and then not being afraid of a leader, people looted the whole city, which made it he was present and together. This city was taken over by the British, and now there is a government of the British and some other countries. Then Leo goes to his house, and when Leo knocks on the door of his house, the servant of Leo's house opens the door for Leo, who was still taking good care of Leo's house, and seeing the servant of the house back to Leo. Quite happy, after which Leo goes to see his family's grave, and cries in front of his address's grave, and apologizes to his address because Leo considered himself a powerful man by not walking on his address rolls. Then Leo gets out of here and arrives straight at the king's house where he apologizes to the king's wife. Because of me, King no longer lives in this world, after which he began to bow his head in front of Liu King's photo and regret his mistake now after apologizing to King's family. Leo goes straight to his childhood friend who has his own hotel, and Leo tells his friend that everything you said to me happened to me, but now I'm not the same as before. Now I'm sitting down, so forgive me for listening to Leo's friend who has a good heart. And he forgave Leo. Then he went round the city, and he found a newspaper, and he found out from the newspaper that a warrior named Hercules had destroyed all the people
Challenging
of China.
for fighting
Hercules is very powerful, in front of which no fighter can stand for long, and after Leo's departure, the best fighter in town is now Leo wanted to fight Hercules, but Leo didn't have the money. Then Leo's childhood friend gives Leo some money, and Leo takes part in the fight. And a few days later, the competition day comes. Here we see Hercules, who is very powerful. And Leo is quite large in size, but Leo is not nervous. And the fight between the two of them starts now, because of not practicing for quite a few days. Leo starts to get weak, and he picks up the other fighter, Leo. Leo does not give up, and as Leo understands that the fighter is now tired, then he shows his perfection in this fighter. And then, at the end of the season, He was thrown into the ring. The fighter and the fighter. And then the neck of the iron nail came out, and then the fighter under the body. He brings his foot and saves him, and seeing that the front fighter thanks me, Min Leo, and understands that I can't cheat with such a good fighter. So he gives up while respecting Leo because he knew that if Leo got me out of the iron, if I didn't save from the game, I could be killed, after which Hercules raises Leo's hand in front of all the people and makes him the champion of the city, and once again Leo's name echoes throughout the city. Everyone finds out that Leo has returned to the city and comes with. Leo defeated the most powerful fighter in the city now, here again. Leo won. Academy. A lot of people in China are starting to train in martial arts, so that the Chinese might become powerful and speak out for themselves. But the British who occupied China, on the other hand, are not happy about Leo's return because they wanted to enslave the Chinese people, but they were weakened when Leo was there. And now they are all determined. We have to fight against a fighter who knows Leo. From Kill. Now a Japanese man says here that I know a fighter who he can easily defeat Leo and defeat Leo again after the whole city. Our fear will be in the hearts of the people, and then they will be in the whole city. They say that Leo will fight a fighter if Leo fights this fighter. Defeated. Then Leo will become the champion of the city and Leo will believe in this fight. Then finally comes the day of the fight and thousands of people came here to watch Leo and this other fighter match, as well as dictators from other countries who occupied the city. But the rules of the fight are a little different type, where Leo first fights with 3 fighters and the dictators do this to reduce Leo's energy and weaken Leo in front of the fighter in the final. But Leo was not a rough player. He defeated all 3 fighters in a few minutes, and when turned eye with the final round fighter whom the dictators brought to kill Special Leo. So this fighter was a very nice person and he didn't like chatting at all, so he tells Leo that you've just fought 3 fighters, so your energy is gone. So I'm going to fight the first 3 fighters, so I'm going to fight the same. I can fight you with the energy you fight me with. Here, Leo is quite surprised to hear so sweet of his appointed fighter. And Leo understands that this fighter is an honest fighter, so Leo tells this fighter that you don't have to fight 3 fighters. I can fight with you in the same energy. And now with Leo's permission, this fighter gets ready for the fight, and then the 2 fighters pick up their weapons of choice, and the fight starts between them. And the 2 fighters start hitting each other equally because they're good at their skills, and they both operate their weapons so well. The 2 of them were surprised to see their fight, and they fought against each other to defeat each other, but neither of them was willing to give up. And there comes a time during the fight that both of these weapons have won, and then the others changed the sword. There was another fighter. I couldn't control the weapon properly now if you wanted to. So could easily beat that fighter, but Leo does not do this because it was cheating according to Leo. So Leo stopped the fight. The sword of the fighter returns to him, after which the fight between the 2 begins again, and the dictators sitting here in the other country understand that Leo will not give up in any way, so the Japanese. The plan to defeat Leo. The 2 of them have been fighting for a long time. The time of the first round ends and the competition goes to a draw. There is no winner declining, but when Leo rests here. Drinking on the sitting and drinking, then the Japanese dictator poisoned the drink beforehand. It wasn't as if he wasn't there right away, but the second round begins. And when he saw it, Leo suddenly began to vomit blood, and when he saw it, he stopped fighting the other fighter, and the fighter realized that Leo had been deliberately planned to kill him. And this thing doesn't like this other fighter at all, that these dictators. You want to be a good fighter for yourself. And then it got worse and worse. The hospital was needed, but Leo believes the dictator's poisoned drink. It's spread all over my body so I can't survive anymore. So Leo decides that if I die, I'll die with great honor, so he's ready to fight again. Now here's the dictators. That's what they wanted Leo to kill. Leo's condition is not good yet, The match starts, after which the fight between the two starts again. And now here Leo begins to fight this fighter with all his heart and make several dangerous wars on this other fighter. Leo was fighting so fast. The fighter didn't get a chance to attack Leo, and here at last. Leo straight, the fighter has a powerful punch on his heart, and then he takes his hand. Stop, because you remember. That was this punch that I took the life of the king, so he didn't want to take anyone's life again, and Leo got his punch there. Stops, and here we find out that Leo's at the beginning of the story. Father, why did he stop his war on the front fighter, and thus Leo also leaves the front fighter following the rules of his father, and now the front fighter also understood that if this punch hit me, it was impossible for me to survive, but Leo still survived. Forgiveness of sins and forgiveness of sins. Leo gets his fat veneer declawed, but then Leo falls down and Leo dies here. He, the other fighter, bends his head down while giving Leo the respect, and straight. Going to the dictator and starting to call him bad at the end of the movie, we see Leo's civil coming in front of Moon and performing his fighting skills, and here Moon, who couldn't see anything. It looked pretty clear in front of my eyes with the same true story made this movie ends. If you like this video, then subscribe to our channel and like the video.